Long before the rivers grew thin and the earth began to crack, there was a village at the edge of a wide, golden savanna. The people were farmers, hunters, drummers, and storytellers. They lived by the rhythm of the seasons and the kindness of the rain. But one year, the rain did not come. The rivers shrank into narrow brown snakes crawling through the dust. The farms died slowly. The goats grew thin. The drums stopped beating at night because there was nothing left to celebrate. And in that village lived a quiet girl named Amaka. She did not talk much, but she watched everything: the sky, the ground, the faces of the elders, and the empty river. She could feel the sadness of the land. The sky was red and the wind was hot. Amaka walked to the edge of the village where an old woman lived alone under a baobab tree. And the old woman was known as Mama Nila, the one who remembered the old stories. Amaka asked, "Why has the rain forgotten us?" The old woman looked at the sky for a long time and said, "The sky has not forgotten. The people have forgotten the sky." Amaka did not understand. So Mama Nila told her an ancient story. Long ago, the sky listened to the hearts of people. When people were kind, the sky sent rain. When people became proud and forgot kindness, the sky became silent. Amaka asked quietly, "Can the sky listen again?" The old woman replied, "Yes, but only a heart that cries for others can call the rain." The next morning, Amaka left the village before sunrise. She carried no food, no water, only hope and the story of the old woman. She walked across dry fields, past broken farms, and then past the empty river until she reached a hill where people once prayed for rain many generations ago. At the top of the hill, there was a circle of old stones. Amaka stood in the middle of the stones and looked at the sky. She waited. The sky was empty and silent, so she began to speak. "Sky, I am not crying for myself. I am crying for my village. The children are hungry. The farms are dying. Please listen." But the sky did not answer. Amaka stayed on the hill until the sun burned her skin and the wind dried her lips. She thought of the children who had no food. She thought of the farmers whose crops had died. She thought of the old people who prayed every night for rain. And slowly, she began to cry. Not small tears, not quiet tears. She cried with all the sadness of the village. She cried until her tears fell onto the dry ground. And one tear fell, then another, then another. The ground where her tears fell became dark. The wind stopped. The sky became heavy. And then, something impossible happened. Thunder spoke for the first time in many months. Lightning flashed across the sky like a giant crack of light. The first drop of rain fell on Amaka's hand. She looked up slowly. Then the rain came. Not small rain, not short rain, heavy rain, strong rain, endless rain. The dry ground drank water like a thirsty animal. The river began to fill again. The farms began to live again. And far away in the village, the people looked at the sky in shock. The rain had returned, but they did not know why. Only the old woman smiled and said, "Someone cried for all of us." When the villagers went to the hill to find Amaka, they did not see her. And they only saw wet ground inside the circle of stones. And in the middle of the stones, there was a small pool of water that never dried again. The elders said, "The sky listened to her tears and turned them into rain so she could water the earth forever." From that day, whenever rain fell on the village, the people would say, "Amaka is crying for us again." And they never forgot kindness again. Because they knew the rain came from the tears of a girl who loved her people more than herself. And that is why, in the old stories, the elders say rain does not fall from the sky alone. Sometimes rain falls from the tears of a heart that cried for everyone else. And somewhere in the clouds, the girl whose tears became rain is still watching the earth she saved.